Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Charmer, didn't I just see you do a green heavy monk list recently? And the answer is yes, but this time around, it's not going to be focused on the curse package, though there is some curse cards and so forth in here. This is Goblin Monk, so this is an aggressive, low to the ground, Goblin heavy list, and it just happens to be Monk because I threw in some executes, because they're cost-effective ways to clear out blockers and deal with gates and blah blah blah, but the reality is this is just goblins. Lots of goblins. And that's it. So deck code will be in the video description, but we're gonna do what I always do. Jump on the ladder, play 2 games, win or lose. My experience so far with goblin lists have been, they seem to be kind of feast or famine. They win big and fast, or they kind of peter out. And they're very skirmisher dependent. That's another thing. I think that's probably why they win big and fast, or they peter out, is because they really kind of come down to, did you find your goblin skirmisher when you have a reasonable amount of goblins on the board. Given that our hand only has 1 goblin and no skirmishers, this could be a pretty rough game. Oh, I mean, we found another goblin, but I'm just saying, this could be a pretty rough game if our opponent has any sort of decent opening. Alright, so we're going to start with this and then get immediately punished because they're going to answer with like Ald Velothi, who's become all the rage again. Oh no, they're going to go with that. Okay. I mean, that works as well. Interesting. We're going to take the damage, but we're going to develop this over here because we will, as long as it survives anyway, get the activation off of the pawnbroker here.
You will feed Come and have a taste.
So let's go ahead and see what we get 2 of. Suppress! Alright. There's a chance that could actually be reasonably helpful. Just writing myself a note here because I realize I have not done a self-silence video yet. And mute came out, and there's all sorts of cool ways to use it.
I am the shield of my clan.
Oh. Marauder Chieftain, huh? Alright, I see you, I see you. A lot of different things we could do here. This would be a great time for me to find... This would be a great time for me to find one of those skirmishers that I was talking about. Alright, so we're just going to push damage. And I think that we're just going to flood and then hope that we top deck one. Because if we top deck one, we're in a really good spot. So if they ring into like Cradle Crush here, that's pretty bad for us. Clears all but 2 of our minions. Assuming that they take trades and so forth.
We stand united.
Okay. Wow, they're gonna do something for 0. Wow. I like that play. Those double suppresses are gonna come in so much handy.
No one.
I really want to top deck a skirmisher now. Was not a skirmisher, sadly. Was not a skirmisher. So let's go ahead and hit those, I guess.
My business is none of theirs.
do this, I guess. It's like further gimp something. I think you save the racer in this case. You want the goblins down because, again, like if you top deck a skirmisher, you want to try to get maximum value. Wow, that double suppress did some work for us there. Have to hope that we have enough inertia, enough forward momentum to get it home here. Alright, rapid shot, that's great for them. Peels 2 damage off the board, and at this point they don't really need to cycle the card.
Khajiit is going to enjoy.
That's a big guard. I mean, it's got the potential, theoretically, to be like a 3-for-1 given my board.
No one bests me.
Yeah, alright, so we're actually going to have to sacrifice our Cliff Racer here. Which feels kind of bad, but this leaves us with the best aboard. But we're kind of out of tricks, so if they can stall us here, then we would need to top deck Cliff Racer again, or we do have one, Razum, as like the top end of our deck. Again, this is kind of also showcasing why Skirmisher is so important, because this is a game that we easily could have closed out with a Skirmisher. And yeah, with that, we're now in top deck mode, right? We are struggling officially, so this helps, just because it means we do at least get rid of this guard. I mean, it's still like a 2.5 for 1, but as you can see, a lack of a Skirmisher could come back to bite us here as we try to just top deck our way to victory here. And that has, I mean, that has been my experience with this deck, so. Alright, so they full clear again.
No one bests me.
Yeah, they're just gonna stop there, I think. I don't know, maybe they push, but I imagine they stop there. Yep. So at this point, unless we get a lucky top deck, there's a strong chance that we just lose this because we ran out of steam. And I'm actually, it's gonna sound weird that I lost this, but I'm actually very happy this happened the way that it did, because this is the best way that I can articulate exactly what I've been experiencing when I play this, which is the games you draw Skirmisher, you usually just win. Like, you just blow people out. It's not even close. And if you don't draw Skirmisher, then you end up in scenarios like we're in, where now we just can't win. Those 2 guards are probably enough to shut us down. Because now we need multiple chargers to be able to close this out. Unless, if this rolls suppressed.
Have business with House Blood.
If that rolled suppress. Although Forked Bolt's kind of funny as well. Man, if we would have had another Murkwater Guide and got double Forked Bolt, like, I would be giggling so hard. But I just can't see us winning this from this position. I think we're just way too far behind at this point, because we need multiple cards to win, and I think we're just going to be drawing 1 card a turn until we lose, essentially. I mean, they have to be close to lethal, because they keep counting, right? Like, you can see them going over. I mean, they're at 15 on the board.
I am the shield of my clan.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you always take that trade because you leave the health on the guard. Alright, so if we're not dead this turn, and they don't silence this, and we top deck a Cliff Racer or a Razum, we have a shot. But that's a lot of ifs. First we have to not die. That's step one. Then we have to top deck like one of 3 cards left in the deck.
They missed their shot.
Well, if they're going in, then they've got
No
us.
one tests me. No one
Also, we're not
tests
top
me.
decking the cards that we would have needed. And there's no prophecy that saves us at this point, even if we hit like Bitterfish Witch. Yeah. So Razum was like 4 cards deep. But this, again, like we also saw, even with all those draws, no Goblin Pumper, right? Like that's... This Skirmisher is everything to this deck, so we're gonna go play game 2. Now what I'm hoping happens is I'm hoping that we actually get one this time, and then we get the victory, because that, like I said, that's just been my experience. If you get Skirmisher, you usually win. And if you do not get Skirmisher, you usually lose. I'm not saying you can't win without it, and I'm not saying that you can't lose if you get it, blah, 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 but... actually, we'll keep that. This is a really low to the ground hand. But it really does mean, like, the world of difference for this deck.
I bark and bird. This is interesting.
Alright, we're gonna take the execute and just do this again. And then next turn we'll play Automaton, and then again, like if we have a Skirmisher, then we probably just win. Ooh, maybe not. I take it back. Giant Bat was maybe worst case scenario for us there. Is that I got rid of something and healed? Yeesh. All right, well I take it all back, but it doesn't matter because we don't have the Skirmisher, so we'll probably just lose this. Oh yeah, this is over. I almost want to concede and then just queue again so that we can increase our chances. But we'll play it out because one way or the other, I think this game's gonna go quick. It's just the fate of goblins, man.
I raise the spine of battle.
All right. That's all 3 of our 1-drop.
My bow is ready.
Oh, this deck runs Sharpshooter, huh? Okay. Well, we're gonna lose this because we don't have enough gas, just like flat out, to finish them, and we're now at the point where they got a fistful of cards. Like you can't not attack against a deck like this.
Hold still.
Still no Skirmisher. Yikes. That's a yikes from me, dog. So we'll probably, like, before this is over, we'll probably get him to, like, below 10. And then that's as far as we'll get him. Which, again, is one of those, like, if we would have got a Skirmisher on curve, maybe we win. I might do a 3rd game Just for giggles here. Yeah, this is gonna be what, a bat? Yeah. All right. Well, let's just concede and go do a third game, because this one was fast. And maybe we'll draw a skirmisher, and if not, well then, I don't know what to tell you at that point. I won't play a fourth game, but we can try to find a skirmisher so you can see what happens and like how insane. Like it's such a polarizing card in this list. Alright, so Assassin's got to be aggro, right? Hey look, Skirmishers. Alright, so let's actually throw you back. And I'm going to keep both. That's going to sound super greedy, but we're going to keep both, because fuck it.
This might be handy.
Sure. We're playing aggro and I'm leading off with execute. No big deal.
This one will protect us on the roads.
Oh, interesting. I mean, there's no way that they're gonna leave it there for me to trade, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So now we now we find skirmishers and we've literally played 0 goblins.
My business is none of theirs.
Like it's kind of unreal. You know what? Whatever. It's kind of unreal. I guess I'm just destined to not win with this list today, and that's okay. Sometimes that happens.
You bet on the wrong side.
This one will protect us on the roads. Clear out.
All right. Oh my lord. So when I need to find chargers, I can't. When I need to find skirmishers, I can't. This game, it's literally all I'm finding. 3 cliff racers and 2 skirmishers. I wish I could make this up. I hope that you guys are laughing along, because if you're not laughing at this, then I don't know what to do for you anymore. This is comedy at its finest.
You bet on the wrong side.
You shall not have the caravan.
Yeah, I guess that's probably correct. Because theoretically, if we draw at least 1 more goblin, then skirmisher comes down, and that's a big buff. Unreal that this game went this way.
My claws greet your throat.
Ooh, that's a problem. Oh my lord! What a high roll top deck, though. All right. So that's a skirmisher there.
The hunt is on!
Are we just dead though? After all of that, are we just
Wrong
dead?
side.
My claws greet your throat.
Oh yeah, we're just dead. After all of that. All right, well, so here's the thing. I didn't win, but you can obviously see what happens when a skirmisher comes down, right? Like the idea is that if you're playing that on turn 4 or turn 5, it's a huge tempo swing in your favor. You're just not supposed to be playing it on like turn 6 or 7. You're supposed to play goblins before you play the skirmisher. So anyway, it's poetic justice. Anyway, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Until next time, may you walk on warm sands.